I'm currently in a very unhinged mood, so I figured what better thing for me to do than to give you all potentially life-changing advice. I asked you all to ask me your big sis advice questions on my Instagrams. Yes, I said Instagrams. So let's just get into it. I got a lot of questions about breakups, so let's start there. She actually scared me. I thought there was something emerging from my head. When is it time to break up? Not to sound too cliche and obvious, but I feel like when you're asking people when it's time to break up, that's when you know it's time to break up. As someone who's been in a long-term relationship with their first boyfriend they've ever had in their entire life, I get it. Like, relationships are hard. And I get everyone says relationships are hard, but you don't truly understand how difficult they can be, especially when you're dealing with your own problems like mental illness, until you're actually in one. And I don't know the circumstances of your relationship, so I'm not going to assume. But in general, when you're thinking about breaking up with someone, or if they're genuinely just not making you very happy, like if you just find yourself more often than not being unhappy when you're with them, or just really have a lot of thoughts about breaking up with them, it might be time to break up. And I know it can be difficult, even if you don't have a lot of emotional attachment to this person, it can just be difficult because sometimes it's hard for us to break up with people, especially if you're a people pleaser and you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. But in the long run, breaking up with someone who is not right for you, who you're not feeling it with, will help you both in the long run and will be better for the both of you in the long run. Going through a hard breakup right now, do you have any heartache advice? Just feel it. All those emotions you're feeling, just feel them. And I know it's like, duh, feel your emotions, but oftentimes when we're going through something that's hard for us, we like to shove down our emotions because we think that we can ignore them, but we can't. Also, don't contact your ex.
Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done.
Like, just don't talk to them. I know it's tempting and I know you're gonna want to do it, and I know it seems like the right move in that instance, but generally it's just gonna make breakups harder when you're in contact with the person you just broke up with. If the relationship ended on good terms, that's great. I know it doesn't make you feel better necessarily, but still, do not talk to them. And if the relationship ended on bad terms, I personally am a fan of blocking. I'm sorry, it's the truth. I will block people over small things, but I especially block my exes. And it's not necessarily out of hatred or anything. It's just I'm very much a person who's like, when you have no reason to contact me anymore, like, I don't want to be contacted. I don't want these people texting me at like 2 a.m. when they're upset. Like, I want my peace. I want to protect my peace. I'm realizing this advice might not be super helpful, but yeah, please, please, please just let yourself feel your emotions, and also try your best to not contact your ex, and also be around your friends if you can. Friends help a lot when you're going through a breakup, just spending time with them and realizing that there's like a whole world out there, because sometimes when you're in a relationship, it can feel like the person you're in a relationship with is like your whole world, but they're really not. Like, there's so much more to life, there's so much more to experience, and friends can just make you feel really good and make you realize that like there's just life out there. There's life to be lived. Is it okay to be kind of behind in the dating world? Everyone else my age is dating and everything, but I haven't even kissed anyone yet. I felt left behind. What should I do? You have come to the right place, considering I did not even have my first kiss until I was 20 years old. I know it doesn't feel okay, but it definitely is okay. When I was a teenager, I felt so far behind my friends in just about everything. Like, my friends were kissing people, having sex, being in long-term relationships, being in short-term relationships, just dating around, going on dates. And I had never even held hands with someone. I had never kissed someone. I was scared to talk to the people I had crushes on. And part of me definitely felt a certain degree of shame around that, because I thought there was something wrong with me. You know, I'm like, why are all my friends doing all these things that teenagers are supposed to do, or that young adults are supposed to do, and I haven't done any of them? I had friends who made fun of me for being a virgin, and it just really sucked because in my eyes, it just drilled into my head that there was something wrong with me and that it was like abnormal for me to not be doing these things. But at the end of the day, I'm a very big believer in going at your own pace and doing what feels right for you. I had friends who were pressured into doing things that they didn't want to do, and that was by no means their fault because the person they were with should not have been pressuring them. But I guess in my head, that just really made me want to wait until I was comfortable and until I felt like I was ready to do those things. There is no set pace in life. Like, there's no specific, like, requirements that you should be hitting certain milestones at. So it's not like, oh, by this age you need to have your first kiss, and oh, by this age you need to have sex. Like, do what makes you feel comfortable. If you want to put yourself out there and experience those things, then go ahead, do what you want. But if you aren't comfortable and you aren't ready yet, there's no problem with taking your time. And I know it feels like there's a lot of pressure because there's like this societal expectation that by a certain point you should be doing all these certain things. But those expectations don't matter. They don't. The only thing that matters is your comfort level and what you want to do. As long as it's done consensually. Being insecure about my body and vageen advice. Oh boy, do I feel that. I feel like something that really helped me in terms of body image and learning to like my body more was just realizing that my body is not meant to look one specific way. Like, as a fat person, I'm not a potentially thin person. You know, like, there's not a thin person in me just waiting to break out. Like, this is just what my body looks like. And I know because of capitalism and beauty standards and social media, we feel an immense pressure to basically look like a supermodel. Like, if we don't look like a supermodel or if we don't have like perfect curves and a flat stomach, then there's something wrong with us. But that is not true. Like, we're not all supposed to be clones of each other. We're allowed to have different body types, and we do. Like, everyone across the world has different body types and different definitions of beauty. So creating my own definition of beauty really helped me in terms of not being scared to show off my body and to show myself my body, because for a long time I avoided looking in mirrors. I avoided having my picture taken. I covered my body in baggy clothes because I thought that if I did these things I could trick myself into thinking I was no longer fat, or I could trick the world into thinking that I was thin somehow. But that's just not how the world works. So rather than covering myself up and doing things that I didn't want to do just to make other people comfortable, I was like, why am I doing all of this when I can just be myself and be happy? I feel like that was just a lot of rambling, but something else that really helped me in terms of body image is unlearning my fat phobia. And there's a bunch of great resources online. There's a bunch of great fat creators you can follow, and I most definitely recommend reading the book Fearing the Black Body, The Racial Origins of Fat Phobia by Sabrina Strings. I always recommend this book. It's really great, and I will leave other book recs down below. Now to vageen advice. This really makes me think of that Sex and the City episode where Charlotte had never seen her vagine and they were all like, you need to look at it with a hand mirror, and then she did and she was like, what? Like, this is what it looks like? That's how I felt in high school when I decided to look at mine for the first time, especially because, you know, I have some volume down there. You know, there's some like meat to mine, and having like basically my only source of sex education be porn, I was like, there's something wrong with me because mine's not supposed to look like that. Like, whether you have long or short lips, whether it's really pale or really dark, or there's discoloration, or there's a lot of hair, or there's bumps. I do just want to clarify, by bumps I mean like ingrown hairs or pimples. If you have like abnormal looking bumps down there, please, please, please go to a doctor and get it checked out. Loaf agrees. There's no one way to have a vagine, is what I'm trying to say. Like, there's no one correct way. So all vagines are good vagines. How to get the courage to go on a date with a Tinder match. When I first started dating, I basically only used Tinder and Bumble, and that's how I met people to go on dates with. So I really relate to this because I was also super scared to actually go on dates with people because I had never gone on dates before, and then I was just meeting these strangers on the internet and like meeting up with them and dating them. Like, it was definitely nerve-wracking. I think it's really important, first and foremost, for you to determine if you really want to go on the date. Like, do you like this person? Do they give you the ick? Do you notice any red flags? Do you just really want to go on a date with them? And I only mentioned do they give you the ick or do they give you red flags because, first of all, like, your own safety. And also just because I know that, like, I've talked to men on the internet that just speaking with them, like just texting them, I could tell something was off about them. And it just made me feel not very safe and not in the mood to ever meet them ever. But if you've met someone on a dating app and you really like them and you want to go on a date with them, you just gotta bite the bullet and go. I personally really liked making a routine of it. So like before I go on a date, I would do my makeup and I would do my hair and I'd put on an outfit that made me feel cute. And I just did it because I feel like the scariest part of going on a date is like the first time you meet that person face to face, like when you're seeing each other for the first time. But after that, you kind of realize, you know, they're just a human being. Like, they're just like you. They're not some like fairy tale you've made up in your head. They're just a person. I am an anxious bitch, so I'm sorry I don't have better advice, but just have fun and remember that they like you too if they want to go on a date with you, and try your best to be safe. Like, don't get in the car with strangers and stuff, which I know is really hard, and I've definitely done that myself, so I'm being very hypocritical, but I don't know, I just want you all to be safe and thriving. Do as I say, not as I do. How the F do you clean an oven? I have no idea. I really don't know how to clean an oven, so I'm like not a good person to ask. See, I'm the cook in the relationship, so I cook and he cleans. So if anyone's gonna be cleaning the oven, it's him. It just kind of feels misogynist to me for me to have to like get down on my hands and knees and scrub an oven. Like, the man should be doing that. But I would assume you use like soap and warm water or like an oven cleaner and a sponge and you just like really get in there and like scrub and clean. I'm sorry. I'm like exposing myself on the internet. I'm not an oven cleaner. I'm sorry. I have small boobs and I think it ruins any outfit I wear. What should I do? Oh boy, do I relate to this. I can't even tell you the amount of times that I've thought about getting a boob lift or a boob job. As someone who has small boobs and who is made very aware of it by people on the internet who love pointing it out for some reason, like it's some gotcha moment, I've learned to appreciate my small boobs in that they allow me to wear things without really having to worry. Like, I don't have to worry about wearing a bra, I don't have to worry about back pain or neck pain, like they just exist. They also allow me to fit into tops that are technically not my size. Like if I find a shirt that's really cute and it's like a small but it's stretchy, or it's like a medium and it's stretchy, I can maybe fit into it if it's cropped because I don't have to worry about having big boobs. Beauty is so subjective, and just like there's no wrong way to have a vageen, there's no wrong way to have boobs. I get it though, there's so many times I'm wearing an outfit and I'm like, damn, I really wish I just had some cleavage right now. Like some cleavage would just make this outfit. But also, I'm wearing it. You know, like you're wearing the outfit. So regardless of your boob size, you're gonna rock it. You're gonna look hot in it. So embrace your boobs. At least that's how I feel. When a guy wants to call it quits but says you can still contact him, should you? No. No, 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 don't contact him. I feel like when someone breaks up with you, your instinct is to try to talk to them and, you know, convince them otherwise, at least if you have feelings for them. But I think it's better for you as a person and healthier for you to not contact that person. I don't know this man, but he kind of sounds like someone who wants to like have his cake and eat it too. Like he wants to break up with you, but then still wants to have access to you like whenever he wants. And I don't know any information about the situation, but I can just tell you that you deserve better than that. You deserve better than to be broken up with and then have this man talk about how you can still contact him and you can still talk to him. I honestly think it'd be healthier and better for you if you didn't. This could be seen as a really good opportunity to move on and either spend time with yourself or find someone who actually wants to be with you. How to stop caring what people in my high school think of me and just express myself. As someone whose social media platforms kind of revolve around, my confidence and my fashion and expressing myself and not caring what other people think, I know it's not easy. I may make it look easy, but it's not. Because at the end of the day, I'm a human being. So I understand how you feel. I know it's scary. I know it's scary to put yourself out there, and it's kind of harder than just saying, just don't care what other people think. It doesn't matter. I think finally expressing myself made me realize, though, that other people's opinions of me literally don't matter. Like, if I dress how other people want me to dress and how other people feel comfortable with me dressing, they're still gonna have negative thoughts about me. They're still gonna have opinions about me. And I'm gonna be unhappy with myself because I'm worrying about what they think and I'm not wearing what makes me happy and I'm not doing what makes me happy. So even though not caring what other people think can be scary and intimidating, it just felt worse for me to actually care what people think and do what makes me feel miserable. Especially in high school, teenagers are judgmental, people are judgmental, but they're gonna be judgmental no matter what. So you might as well wear and express yourself how you want. Maybe start in small ways by wearing, a jacket or a hairstyle you really like that maybe is a little different, and seeing how you feel. And, people might talk shit. They might. That's just their nature. But honestly, the people who talk the most shit are usually the most miserable and the most insecure anyway. People really love projecting their internal insecurities onto other people. So when people look at you and they see that you're doing something you want to do, but they feel too insecure to do what they want to do, they might be a hater about it, but at least you're being yourself and you're growing your own personal style and you're growing your personal self and your confidence. How old should you be when you start using tampons? I feel like however old you are when you feel comfortable enough to start using them. When I was around 12 or 13, I remember I went to a water park with my friends and I didn't know how to use a tampon. So I literally had to have my mom help me because I was like, what's a vageen? Like, where is it? So then I just used pads for the rest of my teenage life because I was scared of tampons and pads just felt easier somehow. As an adult, I almost exclusively either use tampons or period underwear. So I really just think that it's up to personal preference and what you personally feel comfortable using. Is it weird that I have absolutely no idea what I want to do with my life after graduating high school? Absolutely not. It's not weird at all. In fact, I would say it's probably way more common than you realize. I graduated college in December and I still have no idea what I want to do with my life. At least in the United States, we're typically fed the idea that we need to have our whole life figured out by 18. Like, we need to graduate high school, we need to have been accepted to a great college, we need to know what exact career path we want to do for the rest of our lives. And that's just not plausible. Like, at 18, you're a baby, and I know that sounds patronizing and I don't mean it to, but as a 24-year-old who thought I was like this big, great, mature adult at like 18/19, I was a baby. It's not weird at all. And I wish I could give you more advice beyond that, but I'm in the same boat. I truly do not know what I want to do with my life. Maybe try exploring your interests. If you're not in college, maybe look into taking some classes at a community college and see what you like and what interests you. And don't force yourself to do things you don't want to do, because that's what I did with my college degree, and now I'm $30,000 in debt and I still don't know what to do with my life. When did you find a boyfriend? I found my boyfriend at the ripe old age of 20 on Bumble. It's actually really crazy to think about because he's like my best friend now and we live together and we've been together for like 3.5 years, and it's so wild to think about when we were first dating on Bumble because I did not like him. I don't know why. I think I was in my self-sabotage era and I was like, oh, he's nice, I don't want him. but like actually nice, not like the guys who call themselves nice guys. Honestly, that's a lie because I did like that he was nice. I think it's just because I had recently like ended like a situationship and I wasn't over that person. So I just didn't feel like in the mood to date other people. But actually his kindness is what attracted me, and his like good communication skills, because I remember after our first date, he basically texted me and told me that he really liked me, and he asked me if I wanted to go on a second date. And I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, this guy is just straight up like asking me on a second date and telling me he likes me, because I was so used to going on dates with guys who liked playing mind games and kind of like asserting their power over you. So it was really refreshing. So yeah, that was a lie. His kindness is actually what made me go on more dates with him. How do I get a boyfriend? I'm in my teenage years and plus size. I really wish I had better advice for you, but as someone who was also plus size when they were a teenager, I was far too insecure to ever put myself out there to go on a date, let alone have a boyfriend. Maybe just, you know, talk to people, see what happens. If there's any clubs at your school you're interested in, join them, or, you know, any sports, any activities. I don't know. I am not the best dater. I'm not the best person to go to for advice to find a boyfriend. I have literally only dated for like 3 months in my entire 24 years of life. But yeah, maybe put yourself out there more, talk to more people. If you like someone, try talking to them, because I know it could be scary, especially when you're plus size, because you think that you're not like worthy of that person's attention, or that you're not pretty enough for that person. But fat does not equal ugly, and your body doesn't make you less worthy of respect or love. I don't know, I can't tell you exactly how to find a boyfriend or where, but I can just say, take your time, be kind to yourself, and don't talk to old ass men. Just do not. If you are a teenager, do not be talking to those 19, 20 plus year olds. No. Those men are nasty. Stay far away from them. How to ask my crush out on a date. I'm genuinely struggling. I know this is gonna sound like useless advice, but just go for it. I know it's scary, but the worst they can do is say no, and then at least you'll know, you know? And who knows? They might say yes. So like, I don't know. I don't know exactly how to ask someone out. I've never really done that except on like text, but you know, if you hang out with them, maybe ask them when you guys are just alone, or if you have their number and you talk to them, like you text them, maybe ask them if they'd like to go to like the movies or something, or like a museum date, something, and see what they say. I sound so freaking old right now. I'm like, what do the young people do? This is what experiencing your early 20s during a global pandemic does to you. Anyways, my butt is starting to hurt from sitting on the floor, so I think that's about it for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and I truly hope I was at least somewhat helpful. But if you did enjoy this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!